Steve Ella, Eric Groth, Brett Kenny, Peter Sterling, Ray Price, Peter Wynn, Chris Phelan, Stephen Edge, Jeff Bugden, Ron Hilditch, and the coach Jack Gibson. John Muggleton is on the reserve bench. Now the Manly side, led out by Alan Thompson. This is the full Manly team. Graham Eadie, John Rebo, Chris Close, Michael Blake, Phil Carey, Alan Thompson, Phil Blake, Paul McCabe, Bruce Walker, Paul Borden, Terry Randall, Ray Brown, Jeff Gerard, coach Ray Ritchie. The referee, Mr. John Gosha. Away they go. Winner straight into the grand final. The usual Parramatta kickoff. McCabe takes it and very nearly belted over the sideline. Manly have got the benefit of a fairly strong breeze, but more about that from Barry Ross.
Yes, and Manly captain Alan Thompson won the toss and had no hesitation in using that strong breeze, which is not as strong as yesterday, but coming from the southeast, and Manly will make plenty of use of it this half.
All right, Ray Brown at dummy half, just outside the quarter. Randall leaves it behind. It's been knocked on. That was an ordinary pass from dummy half there from Brown. Went slightly behind Randall. A little bit of feeling already. The ball thrown by a Manly player at one of his adversaries. Plenty of feeling.
Yes, Alan Thompson threw it at Brett Kenny.
Now Steve Ella playing at 5'8". Kenny's out in the centres. That's a scrum win to Manly. And it's a penalty against Sterling for failing to retire. Or Taylor, rather. Taylor was right up there beside the scrum, and I misconstrued him as the Parramatta halfback. But dangerous for a fullback to be standing up that close with a very strong wind into his face. Randall. And there'll be no big pardons and no prisoners taken in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Brown, Gerard. And obviously this Parramatta side set to hit and hit hard. McCabe running wide of the ruck. That's a pass back on the inside. Goes off the knee of Phil Blake. A bad start for the young fella. That pass was there to be taken. They put that one down on nerves, I think. Edge. Taylor. Sterling. Kenny with a neat step. And speared in hard. Back in their own quarter, Parramatta. Sterling. Bugden hard round the edge of the ruck. Just on the Parramatta quarter now. There's Sterling. Cronin. Kenny wrong foots his man nicely out to Price, playing as a wing three-quarter there. Very much the head, very much bandaged up around the head with a headgear and a white strapping underneath from the stitching he's had on his head.
Yes, that was a nasty cut, Ray Price. It did cut an artery, so he had to be very careful with that.
Parramatta not running. Oh, beautiful hands from Kenny there. Picked that up beautifully. Around about ankle high. Back on the inside to Taylor. And partly through the gap, but the cover was good. That was the man they call Igor at Manly, Terry Randall. Stephen Edge has got an ordinary statistic scrum-wise for a side so well performed. 211 from 448, success rate 47.1, incorrect feed, and a penalty differential to Manly. Beattie. And that is a gain of only about 12 yards. Now here's a wall being built by Manly. Oh, McCabe puts it down. He was through the gap there. The referee's call for the knock-on. See it again. This is something Manly haven't done before. Now watch it. There was the pass to McCabe, and he was through the gap, and there was a try on there if he holds it. Another penalty to Parramatta. This time against Brown for collapsing the scrum. And Gerard was the last man up. huge amount of experience in this Manly side in terms of numbers of games, Barry.
Well, 3 or 4 players playing over 200 games. Graham Eady, Terry Randall, and of course Alan Thompson. Bruce Walker nearing the 100 matches.
All right, this is a planned move. It's like a cross kick. They've scored a try from it this year that I'm aware of in a telecast match. Eady takes it beautifully, gets into the field of play.
They also scored a try in a KB Cup match like that.
Yes, I think I've seen that twice this year. Was there one at North Sydney Oval?
No, I don't think so. I think the one I'm thinking of is Ray Price scored it in a KB Cup match.
Vaught 20 yards out from his line. Brown. Gerard, that was perilously close to being an offside pass. Brown. Thompson, dummies. Nice pass to McCabe. His pass is knocked down. Extravagant pass from McCabe. Right on the Manly quarter. They've had about 17 minutes of play. Penalty to Manly against Parramatta going down on that scrum. Thompson having a quiet word with the Manly players there in that group. I think we can say with some certainty that Mick Cronin will not be available for selection on the Kangaroo Tour this year. That's come out of some inquiries we've made. Brown. That wasn't a knock on. It touched the Parramatta player's foot. Randall. Gerard. Rebo brought into the play for the first time, and they greet him and backslam him. Brown. Thompson. Michael Blake. Brown. Bruce Walker. Awkwardly tackled there. His legs locked. He's okay. Brown. Back on the inside to Phil Blake. Little grubber kick through. It could well find touch the way it's going. No, Sterling's there. Carey's got him by the shoulder. Gets it away to Hunt. And he's finally put down about 10 yards out from Parramatta's line. Swung to the ground. McCabe the tackler. On the blind side they go. Taylor. There's Bugden. Gerard hits him hard with the shoulder. And there's the Manly coach, Ray Ritchie, who does every match very, very hard. Monumental defence from both sides as we approach the 19th minute mark in the first half with no score. Kick over the top, hanging up into the breeze. Allowed to bounce. Walker's retrieved it rather miraculously.
He's done a lot of good work for Manly in defence today, Bruce Walker.
There's Graham Eady injecting himself into the three-quarter line. Ray Brown. Phil Blake. Still manages to get his pass away. Thompson back into Chris Close. Put down on the quarter line. Brown. Gerard. Gerard, who's assuming Kangaroo prop forward mantle the way he's playing the last few weeks. Chris Close straightens over the top of the defender. Last tackle coming up. Well, touched in flight. Who's got it? Kenny. Doesn't evade the board and tackle. That was a good one. Mick Cronin. Gerard the tackler there. Growth. The run around with Eric Growth. Still no score. 21 minutes gone. Ron Hilditch. Well, Ron didn't face square on when he played that. That kick is Not going to find touch. Edie takes it on the second bounce. He's done Sterling for pace. No, he hasn't. Sterling picks him off. Thompson. Randall. He'd be the oldest player on the field, Barry.
Oh, yes, Terry Randall.
John Rebo. Hey, Rebo up and down. No big pardons.
A bit like Jeff Gerard Rex, Terry Randall. He started his career as a centre.
Brown. Walker hard on the burst. Yes, that's true. And a pretty good one. Thornton. Manly playing it quite a lot through the forwards in this opening 20 minutes. Parramatta prepared to spin the ball a little bit wider. Blake. Thornton. To Michael Blake. Nowhere to go. And that's the 6. At this stage, we must say, two superbly matched teams. And the scrum now midway between the Parramatta quarter and halfway. It's a penalty against Sterling. That's the third occasion he's been penalised for an incorrect feed. And one conjectures about persistent infringement at this point.
Well, there's no doubt that's what referee Gosha was saying to Sterling. Then he was holding up 3 fingers and indicating it was the third caution, and any more they could be in the sin bin.
There's the error situation. That is incorrect. It should read the other way around. Manly 7, Parramatta 2. Brown's at dummy half. Gerard slowly to his feet. McCabe back into Phil Blake. He's hit straight away. They're not giving that young stepper any room to move at all. Thompson. Randall. Oh, magnificent defence. Ronnie Hilditch was the man. Randall would have appreciated that.
Gerard. Terry Randall type tackle, wasn't it?
Brown popping the pass up to Walker. Just around about 9 yards out now. Brown back on the inside. It's a try. And it's the Phil Blake. The cleverness of Ray Brown has suddenly struck out of nothing. And he's turned the ball back, created the opening by running crossfield. And Phil Blake was attentive to the requirement of being on the inside. See it. Ray Brown stretched them open. Vic Cronin followed him. And the stretch, the full stretch, gets him down from head on. Few little lashings of feet there. Mostly at the ball, one hopes. There's the couple of feet went in pretty heavily there from number 10, Peter Wynn. Edie on the quarter line, 15 yards in from the sideline. Breeze across him. Have to aim at the right hand upright. He does that, and it's 2 more points to Manly, and they lead after 25.5 minutes by 5 points to 0. There's the error situation as Cronin kicks off. Walker takes it. Manly have created 7 errors, Parramatta only 2. Now, I'm surprised that Manly don't get the ball down that end fairly smartly. Here's this bruise. They've only got another 14.5 minutes with it. Gerard holds it. Out of his poise, the run around. He calls the player around him. Dummies to give it and then straightens and goes. Brown. Thompson. Brown. Back inside to Phil Blake. Still going. Good decisive little run. Last tackle coming up. Rebo. Thompson finds Edie. Edie gets a pass back inside to Walker. Walker's tackled on the quarter. And that's the end of 6. Interesting to conjecture, Barry, about the 2 weeks break. Both sides of Parramatta have had a 2-week break. Manly have been on a week-to-week basis.
Yes, I don't think there's Points for and against both sides, Rex, but I don't think there's any doubt that both sides want to win this game and so be into the grand final. They don't mind a week's break then.
Well, I have my own views on it. I believe that Manly specifically are a side who would respond better to playing on a week-to-week basis. McCabe. Just on the quarter. We've got 12 minutes to half-time. There's a penalty. Offside. See that little incident again. The referee indicating offside situation. The penalties favour Manly 7-3. It was McCabe being tackled there on the quarter. Eadie from the quarter and about 13 yards in this time. Breeze almost directly at his back. Struck that straight and hard, and Manly another 2 points. They lead by 7 points to 0. Cronin. Now watch the way Taylor comes along this time. Sterling rather did it this time. But they kick off in a useful fashion that invariably gets them the ball back. Vaught winding himself up over halfway. Brown switching the play again to Blake. His pass is knocked down. Vaughton has it at 6 to go. Brown. Gerard. Pass to Walker. Set him up for a bit of a dump. 10 minutes to half-time. Thompson. Rebo, who's not been able to free himself of the defence since this game started. Brown sucks the defence to him. To Phil Blake, to Michael Blake, back to Phil Blake. Pops a pass up to Walker. Net loss of about 8 yards. Blake, the kick over the top is too far. And he's going for the penalty on Phil Blake. He was playing the advantage. Blake has been decked after. I was following the ball. And we'll see it on the replay. You'll see it for the first time as I see it. Deliberately run into. And the referee played the advantage. Let's have a look at that from head on if we can. Edge just got in his way and deliberately impeded him. The referee, John Gosher, played the advantage rule, but as Parramatta came up with the ball, the penalty's gone to Manly. Eadie from directly in front, 28 yards out. Breeze at his back. Caresses that over very gently. Wouldn't belt it at all. Manly 9, Parramatta 0. Winsdown being treated by, I think, Alf Richards. 9 points to 0. Manly lead. 4 minutes to half-time. The penalty against Taylor for failing to retire. And the loud Parramatta roars proclaim that referee Gosher's going to give it a hammer from the Parramatta fans. Eadie's kick. Up to halfway. Well, what's your opinion, Barry? Is a 9-point lead sufficient for this Breeze or not?
Oh, I think Parramatta can come back and win the game.
Right, well, that's going to be the view of a lot of people around this ground. Gerard. Brown has put his own imprint on this game right from the outset. He's been very clever. On Thompson. Eadie runs onto a pass and runs into a gap. Got no support there. Revo couldn't get into the clear, but that's a great run by the big fullback, and he's in a touch. And the ball's been stolen from him on a touch judge's report. And, well, he's been pulled over the sideline, and the touch judge indicated that to the referee. See it again. Now watch for the touch judge. There's the long, beautiful pass from Thompson out to Eadie. Straight into the gap, past Phelan. The defence comes across. It's excellent defence. And at that stage, Taylor drags his leg over the line. You can see the linesman indicate. That one's, oh, just shaved away. The breeze took it, and that's missed by a coat of paint, and the score remains with half a minute to go, 9-0 Manly Warringah. Cronin drives that deep. It's not a bad drop in the conditions. There's the hooter. Moody goes for a long kick downfield. Taylor has it. I don't think he's going to try anything extravagant at this stage. He'll take the tackle. That's the end of the section. And at the half-time break, 9-0 Manly over Parramatta. The statistics of the match: 4-1 the scrums in Parramatta's favour. The penalties 9-4 in Manly's favour. The try scorer for Manly was Phil Blake. 3 goals to Graham Eadie from 4 attempts. We'll be back with more action the same on Seven's Big League in just a moment. Second half, Manly kicking off. Rebo gets it to Taylor. Barry's got news of a change.
Yes, Terry Randall, the Manly front row forward, has suffered concussion. He's been replaced by Big Ian Thompson, wearing number 18 in the Manly front row. Ray Ritchie obviously realises that Parramatta are going to use this win, and he spent most of the time working on defensive patterns with the Manly side. Jack Gibson, meanwhile, Parramatta just told him to play the game down the other end of the field.
Well, that's pretty sage advice. All they've got to do is implement it. Bugden. Oh, a little bit of shepherding there, surely. No, the referee says play on, but that's on the quarter line. Bugden swung to the ground. Sterling props and elects to kick. That's way out on the full. Well, don't tell me they're going to do in North Sydney and not be able to get the ball down the other end of the field. Plenty of opportunities there. And Sterling's going to try his luck at feeding this scrum again. That went right through, so he fed again. It's a scrum win to Manly against the feed. Bill Carey finds himself into the gap. Oh, he's in for a try! And nearly dropped the ball! Nearly dropped it. Phil Blake went right through in a great big sort of parabola there and went through some threadbare defence. And I think he nearly dropped the ball at the end of it. It was a run around with Thompson. Watch his acceleration. Watch him fumble the ball at this point. There. Oh, my heavens. They'd have lynched him if he dropped it from head on. The run around. Nicely executed. Taylor just beaten for pace. And at that point, a very relieved young man as he got the ball down adjacent to the posts. A telling blow by Manly in the opening 2 minutes of the second half. Eadie 14 yards out. And about 7 yards off centre, kicking straight into the breeze. Struck it hard and straight. And Manly move on to a very commanding lead now, 14 points to 0. Now, Parramatta's opportunity to get the ball down there. Cronin's going to kick it straight downfield. Eadie takes it on the first bounce.
And that try scored by Phil Blake. He's second today. He's 34th this season, all grades, and he's 8th in first-grade premiership football.
Yes, a phenomenal performance. What is he, under 19 or just 19?
Yes, 18 and a half.
Remarkable talent. Gerard. Both sides have got big-name reserves, both Australian internationals sitting on the bench in Muggleton for Parramatta. It was close, unloading nicely. There's Muggleton waiting anxiously as Carey comes back on the inside for Manly. Unloads to Vaughton. Vaughton surging away 10 yards into Parramatta's half. Closes at dummy half. Thompson stood up at the tackle and belted down by Ray Price. Edge was round his legs. Ray Brown runs from dummy half into close, and that's the 6. And I was mentioning reserves. Boyd, of course, is sitting on the reserve bench for Manly. Now Taylor's feeding this scrum. They're alternating with their hookers or with their halfbacks. Well, That was knocked backwards, or thrown backwards by Taylor, but the upshot is they still have possession. Thompson was offside there for Manly. His growth is well picked by Borton on the quarter line. 5 minutes to the second half gone. Hilditch, oh, did well to hold that. Second bite of the cherry. Edge. Put Sterling under a bit of pressure. Taylor's there. And Thompson has his first crushing tackle. Phelan. Only about a 5-metre game. Now Parramatta, will their kicking game work? Sterling. Out to Protz. Moving it along the line. The ball's been knocked down. The referee says 6 to go. As Close was up so fast on Kenny. Trying to run themselves out of trouble. Ella. Manly defence looking magnificent at the moment. Taylor. Bugden. Up to the quarter line. Taylor. Hilditch. Nick Cronin. Stands in a tackle. Phelan. Got it away. It's been knocked down by Growth. Manly in possession. And they're being frustrated into error. Gerard up the blind side. Into the Parramatta quarter. Rebound. Break. Thompson on the surge. 7 minutes gone. Manly lead 14-0. The crowd setting up a roar as Thompson dummies. Quick play the ball. Brown runs from dummy half. To McCabe. McCabe only 10 yards out now. The last tackle coming up. Brown. That's it to Close. Close bangs his way through one tackle. And finally put down about 6 yards out. As Les Boyd comes on, it's a loud cheer. And it's Bruce Walker who's done a remarkably good job for Manly, who's being replaced. Scrum into Manly. Thompson. Block forward, McCabe picked off. Thompson finds Vaughton. About 5 yards from the quarter.
John Muggleton wearing number 9 going out to the sideline for Parramatta.
Play Brown. Puts it to Les Boyd. He gets more than his share. And there's a penalty straight away for the treatment of Boyd in that tackle. Hilditch standing over him, and Boyd and Hilditch throw a punch at each other. And Price races in, I think, hopefully to separate them. Touch judges, the lot standing there.
So Les Boyd threw the first punch.
Well, Les was underneath that mound of Parramatta players. The penalty had already been awarded. There was no point in him doing anything. Let's see it again. Ray Brown turns to Boyd. At this point, he became the target for a few of them. Well, Bugden a little bit free with the use of the knees there. There's the error situation. Manly have kept it at 7. Parramatta have moved up a couple to 4. That's the number of times each side's given it back to the opposition. We're looking for our corrugated paper tackle of the week in this game, as we did yesterday. Gerard. Ian Thompson, much improved player. Doesn't make anywhere near the number of handling errors that he used to. Brown to Boyd. Surges to within 8 yards now of the Parramatta line. Brown. Gerard. Oh, nicely popped pass, and Gerard hit it hard. Back to Thompson. Lost a bit of ground. There's a field goal attempt. Phil Blake, 2 tries and a field goal. Parramatta 15, Manly 0.
Field goal for Warringah, kicked by halfback number 7, Phil Blake.
As Parramatta try to get it down there again. 22 minutes gone. Brown took some of the pace off that. Blake has fielded it. He got an awkward pass to his brother Michael. He won't thank him for that one. Rebound dummy half. Thompson. Edie's threatened to go through a few times. There's a little knock on by the look of it. The referee says no. There's one there. And the referee rightly penalising Manly for offside play. Handing the ball in an offside position.
Quite a disagreement at the same time between Boyd again and Jeff Bugden.
The only winner of those arguments is Mr. Jim Cummins. Great kick by Cronin. That's play within 5 yards now of the Manly line. Hunt places it. Sterling. Kenny. Price. Crisscross. Cronin. They drive him back. Great defence by Manly. It's been one of the outstanding features of the game. Price runs from dummy half. Penalty.
Going to speak to him too. Graham Eady pulled Price's headgear off and generally gave him the working over.
And Les Boyd threw it away. So the yelling going on out there.
A lot of it from Paul McCabe just saying, Jethro, he's calling out, they won't score, don't let them in.
Right, Cronin is moving Eady across field now. Watch Eady trot away there because this is the Cronin move. Watch the Hunt. He may tap it and go forward. Eady has it. And well taken. And that wasn't an easy one to take, I'll tell you. There's a brawl starting over here. And somebody just bodily manhandled. Is it Les Boyd out of the back there, or is it Chris Close being bodily pulled away? Alan Thompson's to be commended as a captain there for stopping Close getting further involved. Look at the pressure Eady was under to take this. Took it magnificently. Muggleton one tackler. Price is there. And a couple of punches going in from Price, and I'm afraid Ray Price was the instigator, and he got his corner. Now look at Thompson dragging Close away. That's to be commended. I think the frustrations of not being able to crack this Manly defence has got to Ray Price. He's been spoken to now. Penalty to Manly. 5 yards back into the field of play. $15-0. 15 minutes to go. 31,604 spectators and nobody left the ground. Eady. There's Les Boyd. Up to the quarter line. There's McCabe. Parramatta defenders really swarming now as if it's the start of the game. Monumental body contact. Brown. Gerard. Oh. Touch judge on. And I think Price is in trouble. I think Price is in trouble. The touch judge again. This is the second time in his, what, 35 or 40 seconds. He's giving him 10 minutes in the sin bin. Ray Price for punching. Here's the replay. Gerard. It was for giving Gerard a facial massage there. Sin bin, 10 minutes, Ray Price. It's another scrum into Parramatta. Ella. Nice flick pass there onto Wynn. Back to Muggleton. Evades one tackle. Gosha looking along the Manly defensive line and making sure they go back.
John.
Max Krilich, the former Manly captain, or the Manly captain and likely Kangaroo captain, is getting ready to come on. As Manly come up with the dregs of another Parramatta error. Ian Thompson up the blind side. Nicely there to Eadie. Eadie dummies back on the inside to McCabe. McCabe puts a defender down. It's going to rebound. They won't catch him. He's under the posts. Ghost coming at him. And he's there. A magnificent try. And Rebo is the man. See that again. Good work from McCabe, but a number of players involved in this. Big Ian Thompson surged up the blind side. Got a pass away to Eadie. Eadie dummied, gave it to McCabe. He got the one defender out of the way. Back to Rebo. It was touched in flight. That would have been 6 to go, possibly. It was, but Rebo with growth coming at him. 2 jet-propelled wingers and a great try from head on. Thompson. Clever stuff from the big fella. Watch the dummy from Eadie. There it is. Now watch this McCabe fend. He gives, is it Wynn? No, Hunt. And that pass touched in flight, and Rebo now out of the right-hand side of your picture. Watch the meteor come. Growth. And he's in. 6th attempt for Eadie. He's been successful 4 times. Ray Price, 5 minutes remaining before he can make a reappearance. Sea of faces. 3rd large win for Manly over Parramatta coming up this year. Eadie's kick is successful. Barry Ross, that gives him how many in the last 3 matches?
Well, 10 from 10 against South Sydney, 5 from 6 last week against North Sydney, so that's 15 from 16. And what today? 4 from 6. So
5 from 6.
5 from 6. So we've got 20 from 21.
20 from 21. He's on a goal-kicking high. Cronin drives it deep. Carey fills it with 7.5 minutes to go. 20 points to 0. Immediate change of possession. Kenny's got a bit of side space out there. And a top tackle, though, picks him off. It was Michael Blake. Growth. Hunt holds the ball. Doesn't go the run around with Growth. Max Krilich is on there, and there's an error being made. Loose ball on the ground. Ray Brown off. I missed that.
Yes, but Krilich came on the field while Eadie was taking the kick for goal. And Brown trotted off with what looked like a cut mouth.
This will be a feed by Thompson. Krilich comes up with a scrum win. At the full Blake to Michael Blake. Back on the inside to Close. Close well tackled there by Ella.
Could be another Manly change too. Mike Eden on the sideline with Coach Ritchie wearing number 20.
And Vaughton has the ball stolen from him. Wynn scoops it up. Back to Kenny. Now to Ella. Phelan. Bugden. Back on the inside. He loses it in the tackle. Manly come up with it. Parramatta playing panic football. There's Michael Eden, or as a replacement, possibly. Krilich dispossessed of dummy half there by Graham Eadie.
Parramatta 2 will make a late change. Steve Sharp.
It's a penalty against Parramatta, failing to get off the tackle player. Ray Price, 2 minutes remaining in the sin bin. 20 points to 0. Eadie kicks for touch. According to our unofficial time, exactly 5 minutes to go.
And here's something different for Parramatta coming up. Ray Price will not go back on the field, and Steve Sharp, when the time has elapsed in the sin bin, will go on for Price. He'll be wearing number 24.
Right, Sharp in 24 to come on. There's McCabe coming straight onto a pass. McCabe decked, loses. I'm sorry, not McCabe. That's young Blake decked and loses the ball, so Parramatta come up with it. There was a try under the post if he evades that tackle. Well, Jack Gibson's got to pick up the pieces from this, what must be called a very resounding win by Manly. And they'll have to go around against a pretty tough opponent next week in Eastern Suburbs. Cronin, who's not played a huge part in this game. There's Sharp, the replacement, who's likely to come on for Ray Price when his time is up. Kenny being penalised for walking off the mark. I'm not so sure he wasn't pulled off the mark. 5 goals from 6 attempts to Graham Eadie. No score for Parramatta. Oh, terrible pass being thrown, but it's picked up by Bugden on the half volley. There's the error situation.
And there's a big fight in back play there. Your touch judges on the field.
Michael Blake looking after his young brother Phil Blake there.
I think Brett Kenny was the Parramatta player involved.
Around about 30 seconds to go, unofficial time. The scrums have favoured the Parramatta side 7-4. 3-all in the second half. The penalties, the Parramatta on the move. Hunt may well go in and score. It's a good tackle. Ball's down on the ground. It's been kicked away. The Parramatta pick it up and it's play on. 6 to go. There's a brawl starting in the middle field. Phelan tackled. The referee trying to referee the game and stop a brawl out in the quarter line.
It's Michael Blake and Taylor for the two that started.
And that's the end of the game, and no love lost between these two sides. Some of the players shaking hands. I get a very solid impression that the Parramatta side lost their cool. Les Boyd baiting some of the Parramatta players. I think he's saying to Bugden, well, what do you want to do? Go on with it? But they'd be very ill-advised to do other than talk. As I mentioned before, Mr. Jim Coman's the only winner in those arguments. We've got a mass scene there at the moment at the conclusion, with both sets of players being spoken to by the referee with the assistance of 2 touch judges. A 20-0 win to the Manly side. 3rd win this season. The loss was a 4-0 loss in the first round. And boo as the Parramatta fans may, their side has been thoroughly whipped today.